Many think Trump's State of the Union address to the nation will be big tomorrow night. Marks, and Kurdistan oil is supposed to start tomorrow as well. The pipeline is ready. So along with the State of the Union speech, it should be a big day tomorrow. Question: will Ramadan affect the timing of the exchange rate? Are you asking me because Kuwait went through and re during Ramadan? Emo, that was just a coincidence. Let's just say my friend, Firefly, has purchasing power. Do you think it would be wise for him to celebrate, to run out in the streets, during a religious event? Wouldn't it be rather sacrilegious for them to even consider? Or I got purchasing power during a holy solemn time. It sure as heck can happen during Ramadan, but I don't want you to think it's going to happen because of Ramadan, Emo. What does a digital Iraqi dinar mean for those of us who have the paper IQD? The truth of the matter is they hadn't said one way or another. If they go 100% digital, what you have to pay attention to is, does the digital only work for the people within Iraq? So it makes it okay for people outside of Iraq to hold paper currency, because if they go 100% digital, then that means we're going to have to give up our IQD. We're going to have to turn it in. Either we have to sell it back, or we're going to have to figure out how to get a digital version of it at the current exchange rate. I don't know if that's going to be possible. The odds are they're going to force people to sell the dinar. What does that mean for speculators? We're going to have to wait and see. Central bank, gold reserves grow by 45.1%. Quote, the central bank announced, today, Sunday, that gold reserves grew by 45.1% in the fourth quarter of 2024 compared to the same quarter of the previous year. Gold reserves increased from 12.29 trillion dinars in the fourth quarter of 2023 to 17.83 trillion dinars in the same quarter of 2024. We haven't seen it on the Forex just yet, but when you see warning articles about the Forex and you see education that they're putting out, alarm bells should be going up. These guys are really doing something. Do you think the central bank, U.S. Treasury, Federal Reserve, want a new exchange rate for the Iraqi dinar? Yes, everybody wants it. Turns out the US Treasury, Federal Reserve, CBI met in Dubai. Is this an annual even? It must be important. We have security and stability, is what came out of this meeting. There is a huge amount of hype going on for tomorrow, big expectations going on right now on the RV side. Question: is this the closest you've ever seen this RV happening? Marks: this is absolutely the closet I have ever seen us. The CBI has announced that there are now 2 million e-wallets in Iraq and that Iraq is developing a central bank digital currency. The best part of this is IT will force the RV if it doesn't happen sooner. The CBDC will be used in all cross-border payments, which is why K2 and Wyman has been there teaching the Iraqis about cross-border payments. This increases the likelihood that we will have the option of being paid on the RV with the Iraqi CBDC, or use XRP and convert your RV funds to any other currency you wish. Iraqi dinar hits 9-month high against the US dollar. This is good. This means the Iraqi dinar has grown in value. It's not much of a jump, but if you put things in perspective, it seems like a pretty big jump, signaling a positive shift in the national currency value. We want this number right here, 145,950 to 100 US dollars, to go down. Iraqi dinar hits 9-month high against US dollar. Quote, the Iraqi dinar exchange rate has reached its highest level in the past 9 months. With the currency strengthening against the US dollar in both the Iraqi and Kurdistan region markets. Despite rumors surrounding potential sanctions on Iraqi banks, the exchange rate has remained stable, providing further confidence in the resilience of the Iraqi economy. Emo, at this point in the monetary reform, they are so close to giving the citizens the new exchange rate, which means we are so close to giving the new exchange rate to the enemy. to Parliament, and that's why Sudani wants all of the systems up and running, and that's why the Secretary of State came and made sure that's being done so we can detect every stealing that would occur. All of these moves from Sudani are because he's being guided by the United States Treasury and Donald Trump to make sure this time we hit the mark. Question: Mark, did Iraq ever revalue their currency before, or will this be the first time? Marks: Iraq has revalued its currency 4 times in the last 120 years. There is a lot of historic precedence for this. I believe it was in the 1970s that we last saw Iraq RV a major move up. Iraq's gold reserves rise to more than 17 trillion dinars. Quote, "This has many benefits, as it enhances economic and financial stability, protects against risks, and is considered an important tool for intervening in the foreign exchange market." The head of the Parliamentary Transport and Communications Committee, Zahra al-Bajari, confirmed today, Monday, that Iraq pays money to raise the Jordanian flag on its ships due to international restrictions. Al-Bajari said in a statement to Al-Maluma agency that Iraq did not adhere to the international controls and standards set by the International Maritime Organization, IMO, to regulate maritime traffic, which led to the imposition of restrictions on its maritime activity, noting that international standards stipulate that ports should not be militarized, but Iraq still faces challenges in this regard. She added that Iraqi ships that raise the national flag are subject to immediate confiscation, which prompts Iraq to register its ships under the Jordanian flag in exchange for paying sums of money, which reflects the weakness of Iraqi maritime sovereignty. Pointed out that the certificates of Iraqi sailors issued by the Egyptian and Jordanian Maritime Academy are not internationally recognized, which constitutes an obstacle to the involvement of Iraqi cadres in the global maritime sector. Al-Bujari called on the Ministry of Transport to take the necessary measures to implement all the standards required by the International Maritime Organization, IMO, to ensure Iraq's presence within the international system, and enable it to raise its flag on its ships without restrictions. Informed sources revealed, on Monday, that the Iraqi government has failed to oblige armed factions close to Iran to hand over their weapons and integrate into the official military establishment. The sources told Shafaq news agency, the past period witnessed unannounced dialogues between government parties from the team of Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani and a number of leaders of armed factions in order to hand over those factions' weapons and push them towards integration into the official Iraqi military institutions, and to leave any work outside the framework of the state. She added, after a round of dialogues and discussions, the factions categorically informed al-Sudani and his team of their complete refusal to surrender their weapons or integrate into any of the military institutions, and their emphasis on continuing the approach of resistance, and their complete readiness to defend Iraq and the Axis forces in the region. The sources indicated that the government informed the factions that this decision will push both the United States of America and Israel to take steps against it during the next stage.